Hello everyone, it's Kay. So how is it going today? So in today's video, let me talk about the BNF again as to what I learned from him and what I respect about him and how I apply his mindset in my trades. Actually, in the past, I have posted 2 videos about BNF and I put the link on the description below. But there's a playlist called a legendary Japanese trader in my YouTube channel, and in the past I have posted these 2 videos about BNF, and ever since I posted these 2 videos I got lots of messages by email about him, and that's why I decided to record another video to talk about him today. And for those who are new to my channel, my name is Kay, like a letter K, and I am a full-time Japanese Forex trader here in based Tokyo, Japan. And I share knowledges and analysis by Ichimoku Kinko and my strategy called KTS in this channel every day. So if you don't want to miss any of the future lives and videos, please subscribe and click the bell button so that you get notified as I do these lives and videos every day in different topics. So as a quick disclaimer, this information is basically based on my understanding and experience knowledge. So when you take trades, please do with your own risk. So today's topic is about the BNF again. So I will talk about his personality and also his trade style and also what I learned and how I apply them into my trades analysis. And by the way, BNF is the nickname and his real name is Takashi Kotegawa, but in respect of his request to call himself BNF, I just call him BNF. Looks like in outside of Japan, his real name is as famous as this nickname BNF, but because of his request in respect, I call him BNF on this video. So that's for your information. So first of all, let me touch on some of his personality in his own words. So I will introduce 4 words today, 4 quotes of him, and so here is one of them. I put the words in English and this is the original Japanese words of him, so if you understand Japanese you can read this one too in Japanese. So first of all, I think he's an introvert, right? Especially when it comes to trading, he's an introvert because when he talks about his own trades, he's very much into himself. And I mean, there is a famous online forum called 2channel, or we call 2channel in Japanese, and in there he wrote lots about his strategies and feelings and emotions. And as I've read all the words, he's very much an introvert and really focusing on himself. So he puts his own words as if he's talking about the market and as if he's talking to himself, looking back his own trades and moving forward to the next trades. And this is one of the characteristic I like about him. And in fact, he says like this, he says, I just trade stocks in the middle of the room alone and know nothing about what's happening around the world. I have money, but it doesn't mean I'm a valuable person. And he says like this, and I think it's true. And because when I was still a newbie, I used to think too much about my trades, especially when I was losing. I really think about it too much, to the extent that I get depressed for the first 2 years. Sometimes I get depressed, and when I get depressed by these losses, I read some books about this mental management, or I was listening to this nice and calm music alone, and so on. I try to experiment all these alone myself and talk to myself, listen to my own heart, so to speak, and I was kind of investigating myself, my emotion and feelings, and it helped a lot. So I know myself more in that way, and so that's why I agree with his statement because that's exactly how I overcame my losses in the past. Especially when I was losing for the first 2 years, that's how I overcame my losses, the pain of the losses, to talk to myself. So I agree with the statement that when I'm so much into some things, I tend to forget about everything else. And also, I agree with the statement that money doesn't make a person valuable because it's not what it's all about. And also, let me introduce his another word. He says like this. He says, for the last 7 years since I started taking trades, I hardly go outside. And besides taking trades, I either watch internet, TV, or animes. So, you know how much he has been focusing on trading itself. And actually, there are more and more words on the 2 channel, the online forum in Japan. And as I looked and read his words, I can feel how much he has been into the analysis and trades every day. So it tells us about the importance of taking time to think and ponder and deeply focus on what you do in tradings. He never depends on someone else's advice, never uses EAs or robots, but all the analysis were done all by himself manually and take trades manually by himself. So he only shares his techniques on the internet forum, online forum, but never held any seminars or educational services under his name whatsoever. So that's why I think he's pretty much introvert, focusing into himself, learning himself alone, and that's how I got all the assets. And also, in fact, he says like this. He says, I don't like to be affected by someone else's opinions. So my style is purely based on my own experience. And actually, I read this statement when I was losing overtime for the last 2 years. For the first 2 years, I was losing overtime when I was buying all these paid indicators, EAs, and signal services. And because all I was looking for was where to buy and where to sell in the market, until I blew one account and had draw down 50% on the second account. Yeah, that was my focus. Where to buy, where to sell was only the forecast when I was focusing on these scalpings. I used to have like 6 panels in front of me. Now I only have 1 panel in front of me. Much simplified right now. But back in those days, I still remember I was always looking at charts, very stressful, and my focus was where to buy, where to sell, constantly. And especially, like I said before, when I had losses, I depressed myself. So I still remember when I read this statement, it struck my mind and thought, I have to find my own strategy by my own because the answer is not in others. Then I started to restudy the price action and the candlestick patterns and lines, all the basics from scratch, as well as Ichimoku Kinko Hyo. Originally, I knew a little bit about Ichimoku Kinko Hyo, but I didn't really get into it. So after these 2 years of losing years, I restudied all these basics, including Ichimoku, and eventually it made me profit over time now. So now that I see this statement, I know BNF is right because we are not here to be affected by others. I mean, it's okay. It's okay to refer to someone else's techniques and advices and take some good points about strategies and mindset, but the point is never be able to copy 100% on somebody else's strategies. It's my truth. And that's exactly the intention of mine, to teach my strategies in my global trading school and also on this YouTube channel. I don't want the students to believe my strategy, but instead I would like to teach and share how I read and analyze the market over time, so that they get the essence of it and become a profitable trader after practicing over again, and get the ideas based on their own trade experiences. So yeah, this word actually helped me a lot to become a profitable trader, and that's why I decided to introduce this word as a valuable quote from BNF. And if you purely master the strategy based on your own experience, it becomes your lifetime asset. But if you borrow somebody's strategy, or if you keep using somebody else's strategy, or if you just follow somebody else's strategy, just copy it, then if that person or if that indicator goes away, then you cannot take trades. You have to start to look for another winning strategy. So, and I don't want to do that actually. So let me share with you another word of BNF that I respect the most. He says like this also. He says, eventually I was able to execute trades extremely quickly. My hand moves by itself without navigating it. And as I watch, I think of myself that this is not a machine, right? This is a machine, not my hands. So this is the state when you get used to something. For example, riding a bicycle. Before you ride a bicycle, you might have felt it's extremely difficult. You trip over many times when you were a little kid. When you first start to ride a bicycle, you trip over, over time, and you get wounds on the bodies. But once you get used to it, it becomes impossible to trip over anymore, because your body naturally adapts to take balance. So I think it's the same thing in trading also. BNF takes trades as if he doesn't trade by himself, because his hands move automatically, almost like a spinal reflection, so to speak. But this truly shows how great he is in his in terms of the trade mastery, and that's why we respect him so much in Japan for all the efforts he put into the tradings over time. And that's what I really enjoy when we read this his words on this online forum 2 channel. So actually there are so many other words that I would like to introduce, but I will just introduce these 4 words in this video, and I will share more and more wisdom of him on my future videos. So what I really would like to say today about BNF mindset is that first, learn from your own trades. So let me go to the next slide. So learn from your own trades is the first key to success, as per his words. And of course, you can learn knowledges from books and videos like this, but after all, it's you that you need to make decisions. So until you become confident, you keep learning from your own trade experience. So make sure you track your records. You put the buy, when you bought it, when you sold it, and when you put the stop loss, please write it down. And also when you exit, write it down with a screenshot, and add the comment, like how you felt about it and what you learned about these winning trades or losing trades. Make sure you write what you learned on your trading journal, which is very important. And also keep your own rules, right? For example, my rules are when market goes against my scenario, I cut loss immediately, no matter what, and never trade when I don't feel like trading. Although I see a trending market, I don't look at it if I don't feel like it. That's my another rule. And also be alone when taking trades without any distractions, which is also important. I take trades where there is no music, just myself alone in the room, myself, and take trades. That's my rule. And also, what else? Never trade against the trend is also my rule, and always look for the reasons to trade. I never go intuitive trades. I never do that. Always I look for the reasons to take trades, otherwise I won't take it. And also always make sure to put the stop loss is another rule, and break even and trial the profit, etc. And also do my best to keep my rules is my rule also. And these are my rules, and it should be different depending on the individual's trading habits and personalities, because we're all different. But these are actually, you know, these are you can come up with these rules once you know yourself. Without knowing yourself, you cannot create the rules like this. So my rules are like this because these were the losses I had in the past, and that's why, you know, when there was a, you know, music going on, loud music going on with lots of people, I took trade and lost. So these are all based on my experience. So make sure you create your rules based on your personality and characteristic, which is also important. And lastly, be flexible to the market. Right, as Goichi Hosoda says, the creator of Ichimoku Kinko Hyo, he says, surrender to the market. So be flexible to the market. And this is something that I mentioned earlier on the previous lives and videos. The market does not move as you expect because you're not the one who controls the market. So learn to be flexible to the market and learn to be able to identify what's working and what's not working in the current market, and they only focus on what's working at that time. And in order to have more chances to know what's working in the market, knowledge definitely helps. So for example, Ichimoku helps you to identify whether the market is trending or ranging, whether the equilibrium is buying side or bullish seller side, bullish side, bearish side. You can know it by Ichimoku Kinko Hyo. And also if the market is worth to buy or not, you can tell from Ichimoku. So you will be able to identify all these if you master Ichimoku Kinko Hyo. So whether whatever indicators you use, whether it's MA or Bollinger Bands or MACD, RSI, or you name it, whichever the market indicators you use, try to be able to identify what's working and what's not working on the market, and only focus on what's working at that moment, because that's also a part of the discipline. And be flexible to the market, meaning when you see the end of the trend, then simply stop taking trades, or when you see the strategy or the indicator doesn't work, then do not use it anymore at that time. Right, so this is important concept that I learned from BNF and also Ichimoku too. And lastly, I believe if you know what to do and how to do, plus if you have the enthusiasm or a grit to do, then everything becomes possible. It's been my philosophy of my life, and that's why I don't give up until things come true. So thank you for watching the video until the end. Oh, one quick announcement is that my GTS class between April to June is fitting soon. So if you're interested, please come to my website and look at this information about my GTS class. So once again, thank you for watching until the end. If you liked this video, please press a good button, and I will keep creating this video about BNF and also other famous and legendary Japanese traders I would like to talk about. So thank you for watching again until the end. So until I see you next time, please stay healthy and stay gold. Alright, bye for now. Mata ne. Thank you everyone.